Hello, I didn't see you there. Anyway, this is Lori, and I am not your average writing teacher. I help moms who resist writing fall in love with the process, tend to their creative souls, learn how to improve their writing skills, and in that process, become writing role models for their kids. And how do I do that? We start fast and easy with writing haiku. And today I'm going to share with you one of my new most favorite ideas for writing haiku, and you'll see what that is in a moment. But I do want to share with you, it's like an example of how I use self-care right in the moment. You might not know it, but before I do these lives, I'm just a tiny bit nervous and amped up. And so I was here a couple minutes early and I thought, okay, what can I do? So I just pulled my journal out and I started writing a haiku because it's something that calms me down. So I'll read it to you. The first line is janky right now, so I still got to play with it. But I have thankful for writing because I tend to my muse, ideas come fast. So I need to tweak. I like the second and third, but I'm going to play more with the first one. Yeah, and I'm still nervous, but oh well, who cares? I'm just going to keep going. All right. So let me move through my slides and get busy here. So today what I'm going to teach you how to do is a thanku. Okay, is that not clever or what? And I was reminded of this idea because I was going through some of my old journals and I found a haiku I wrote about my cousin's wedding. Hello, David and Jennifer. Thank you for getting married and inspiring my haiku. And I just called it a thanku. And I went back to look at some of my journals this week and I found it and I was like, it's November. It's the month we're all supposed to be fabulously thankful. So I thought I'm going to combine a haiku plus an in-the-moment gratitude list, and they can become thankus. So that's what we're all about today. Now, if you're someone and you are like, I don't know what haiku is, I knew it, but I forgot it, or I never even heard of it, go to my blog and you will get refreshers. I've also got tons of lives on my page, which you can check out too. But I would guide you to the Haiku My Day section of my website, which is lorit.com. There's a post called What is Haiku? I compare it to a hamburger so you guys can really get it. There's a piece about 10 guidelines for writing traditional haiku. You will see that my haiku are a little bit non-traditional. You can also subscribe to my blog because my newsletter. Blah, 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 blah. You can subscribe to my newsletter and you will get a fast and easy cheat sheet automatically for writing your first haiku. So keep that in mind if you need those resources. All right. The other thing I want you guys to keep in mind is I'm going to guide you through a way to write these thankus that will make it pretty easy if you've never done one before. But I want to say to anybody watching this, truly, you don't have to do all the stuff I'm about to tell you, even if you've never written a haiku before. Write 3 things you're thankful for. Make the first one 5-syllable phrase. Make the second one a 7-syllable phrase. And make the third one a 5-syllable phrase. And you have a thanku or a haiku, okay? So what I really want to encourage you guys to do is just do the thing. And don't worry if it's going to be bad, okay? That's how you're going to fall in love with writing. A tennis player is going to hit a lot of balls into the net before they hit one down the line for a winner, okay? And that's just part of the process for almost anything. All right, that being said, let's get going. All right, so the first step is when you decide to write your thanku, I want you to sit down. Sit down where you can see outside and you can see inside. And I just want you to write a list of things you see in that moment that make you thankful, or something you see and that triggers the memory of or the thought of something you're thankful for. All right. And tips that I want to give you for this Accept anything that comes to mind. Don't be like, oh, that's not important enough, or, oh gosh, you'll see in my list in a minute, I didn't say one thing about my husband. Okay, I'm thankful for him every second of the day. But and it flits into my mind, oh my gosh, I got to get a wrong line in there. Don't worry about it. You're going to do several of these in the month of November, hopefully, and eventually you're going to get to all of the things. So just accept whatever comes into your mind in that moment. Use phrases. Don't just write dog, husband. Write a phrase, okay? And the other thing you can do is let one line inspire another. And I'll show you what that means when I show you my list in just a hot second here. What I want you to do is just write a list of 10 items or for 5 minutes, whatever happens first, okay? That's step one. This is my list, and I wrote this list yesterday, and let me show you I'm going ahead because, okay, that's what my real list looks like. It's a total mess, but I rewrote it for you guys. I'm just going to go back here because I wanted you to be able to see it. So would my list be perfect like this right off the bat? Heck no. All right, so sitting in Starbucks, and I was by the window, so I was looking in Starbucks and I was looking out of Starbucks. Literally, this is what I saw, okay? Sunlight on the leaves, children walking and laughing with each other, blue sky, which was really lovely yesterday because I live in California and it is smoky here. The smell of coffee, sitting in a place where I'm warm and I can write poetry. Now, I am writing phrases. I am not trying to write a haiku right now at all. The sound of big band jazz. Now, I want to tell you, seconds before I started writing this list, an elderly gentleman who was there all the time, he commented to me, he goes, oh my gosh, what kind of music are they playing? It sounds like they're beating a dead baby here. It was horrible music. And he goes, I want to hear some good jazz, because usually the Starbucks where I go has really good music. So I wrote the sound of big band jazz, which I hear in my house all the time because my daughter and my father love Harry James music, okay? So that's where I heard something that inspired this line, but it wasn't really happening in the moment, okay? But I thought of it in that moment. People greeting each other with hugs, pink blooms. There's this beautiful tree outside Starbucks that has these beautiful pink blooms on it. That one reminded me of my favorite pink lipstick, which I was wearing yesterday. I am nothing without my lipstick, which I probably should have put on my list too. And of course, while I was doing this, God forbid I don't check Facebook every 30 seconds. I did check Facebook. Don't tell anybody. And a picture of my daughter from first grade popped up from Halloween in one of those memory pictures. It was the sweetest picture of her when she was a little Supergirl. So I put that down there. Okay, so that was my list. So you do that too. Okay, step 2, mark your favorites. Just the ones that stand out to you. Don't care why, just mark them. All right, we're going to move the slide here. So you can see I circled 3, 4, 5, 8, and 9. I just circled those, okay? That's all I did. Then for your favorites, I want you to count the syllables. You're just trying to see, could this be a 5, 7, or a 5 line for a haiku or a thanku as we're writing? If one line is really long, I want you to break it up, okay? So number 3, blue sky, easy, 2 syllables. 4, smell of coffee. Number 4 happened to be 4 syllables, smell of coffee. Now number 5 is a very long one, so I just broke it up. Sitting in a place was 4 syllables. Where I'm warm, 3 syllables, and I can write poetry, 7 syllables, all right? So I just did that for the rest, and this is really just a drafting moment. I'm just kind of working through it. This is the legit one that I did, so you can see my drafting. I did this on the back of a piece of paper. You can also see my keyboard behind there. I did have my computer here, but first of all, when I do haiku, I'm almost always handwriting them. It's just an experience to me that seems like it should be handwritten, and it's fast and it's easy, and I'm scratching out. And, if I'm writing even a 1-page personal essay or a long form poem or whatever, I'm definitely on my computer. But in these beginning drafting stages, even for long pieces, I'm handwriting. I'm getting on big pieces of paper. I'm scratching out. That's part of my initial creative process. So I just wanted to share that too. All right. From your list, I want you to pick a favorite, and it can be anyone you want. And then I want you to write it on your composing playground. And for me, my composing playground is my journal, okay? It can be a scrap of paper. It can be whatever you want. But I call it that because I want you to consider that you're going to make a mess there. It's not going to be where your final copy is, okay? Composing playground. That's what I call it. All right. So this is my actual hand in Starbucks yesterday. And the very first line I wrote, that was my favorite. And in my list, it was my pink lipstick, which is only 4 syllables. So between transferring it from my list to my journal, I added pink, okay? And I think you'll see on my list, I don't know if I had pink in there originally, all right? Well, actually, yeah. That's 7. My favorite pink lipstick. My favorite lipstick was 6, and I added pink to make it work. But I just wrote that line. And one of the things I want to really stress with you guys is a lot of times I don't start with, this is a huge tip. Listen in. I do not start with the very first line of the haiku or the deiku or the thanku, whichever one you're writing. I start with the one that has come to me, that I like the best, and I don't worry if it's 5 or 7 because I can change it up and I can tweak it to make it work. I necessarily don't know whether that's going to be a first, a second, or a third. Now, this one, I made it 7, so I was pretty sure it was going to end up being the middle one, right? So once you get that first favorite line on there, and first meaning the first one you put on the piece of paper, I want you to write your first thank you. Your goal is to write 3 lines. The first one has 5, the second one has 7, the third one has 5. And my tips for you is get in a writing mindset. Relax into the process, breathe in, breathe out if you need to. Don't worry if you write something super, super bad, okay? Actually, I want you to go for that goal. Write something bad because I want you to write. And look, here's the deal. You've written 3 things you're thankful for. Who cares how you've written it? You have had that experience, and I promise you, you're going to be surprised at how good it is, okay? And just keep tweaking it until you get it the way you like it. All right, so what I did, you can see I wrote that first one up there, the smell of coffee, my favorite pink lipstick, writing poetry. And then I still wanted to write another one because I thought I got to see if this idea is working. So I wrote blue sky, pink blooms, writing words on smooth pages and warmed by the sunshine. Now, when the sun was coming in through the windows in that moment, and my journal was really warm, but the pages in this journal are so smooth. I love touching these pages. And I literally was struck by that in that moment. Now you can see there, my first line was warm by a window. And I thought, okay, are people, and I had that for a while. And I thought, are people going to get that? Because I just wasn't sure. So I just decided to have warmed by the sunshine, because what was warm by the window? I don't know. I just thought it was a little vague, and I liked this one better. Okay, so that's what I did. Okay, little slide. Time to go. Oops, no, I think it might have. Okay, so now what I want you to do, once you get your thank you in your journal, is read it out loud. Okay, or murmur it out loud. And just listen. Does it sound like it needs any tweaks? If you stumble at all, or just the flow of it doesn't feel right in your ear, see if it needs tweaks. And if you don't care, don't do it. But count the syllables one more time to be sure you've got the 5-7-5. Or if you don't, be sure you like the sound of it. Remember, you can follow the 5-7-5 pattern, or you can completely ignore it. The main tip I have for you is focus on the experience of doing this and not on perfection. Then what I want you to do is rewrite your thank you so it's all pretty. And have I got a little special treat for you people? Look at this. All right. So in the comments of this live, after I post it, there will be a printable that you can make and download. You can put it on your fridge. And my goal this month is to write 6 thank yous. I know I'm going to make it. And then we're just going to have this fabulous night at Thanksgiving where we read them all to each other. And everyone in my family rolls their eyes because I'm trying to do the Lori writing thing again. Anyway, but you'll be able to get it on my blog because it's there right now on the Doing Gratitude Different post. You'll be able to get it there. You will be able to get it if you subscribe to my newsletter. You get it automatically because I put the information there for you already. My newsletter comes out the first day of every month, by the way, or the last day of every month. Second, by the way. And it will be on this live too for you. But this is what it looks like. It's pretty cute. You can't see it super well right now, but and here's a picture. I've already put it on my fridge. I printed mine on cardstock, so it's a little sturdy, and so it'll be visible in there. One of the little tricks for getting your family to write is don't tell them to do it. I mean, I'm not kidding. My daughter will walk by this a couple times, and I bet you $100 at some point she's going to put some little THANKU there. So will my husband. And chances are it'll be a little snarky because they are used to living with Mama Writer, but I don't care because they're going to do it anyway. And it's going to be a laugh, and it's going to be a great memory for us. All right. So the other thing I just wanted to tell you, and these are some tips, and I want to see what my other tips are. Okay. So if a hot tip for you is if this catches on in your family, or you do it every November for the rest of your lives, you can make a little thank you book, which I've also given you a printable cover. So this is what it looks like. This is the cover. It's so cute. But anyway, and what I do a lot of times, you guys can see that right there, is I just hole punch. I use these rings for journals all the time. And so what I did is my family's so lucky. I made a page for everyone in my family. And on the back of this page, I double-sided it. And there's a page where you guys can do your composing playground too. Okay. Now, if you have young ones in your family, really little ones, I have a teenager right now. You can be the scribe. You can do these out loud with your kids. You can just take a piece of primary school paper or just write my thank you. Okay, focus camera, focus. There we go. And just write the lines and do it yourself. The other thing you can do with super primaries is you can do a picture thank you. Okay, so here you could just do 3 boxes, one a little bit bigger than the other, and your little one could draw a picture of what they're thankful for. 3 pictures of things they're thankful for. Now, with really little ones, you have to understand, it's so interesting. If they write their pictures, what I want you guys to do is say, will you tell me about your haiku? Tell me your haiku. Images representing an idea is the very beginning of writing. And the other thing that's interesting is maybe they'll put like the first letter of a word. They can read their haiku to you, and they might be making it up on the spot, but it's still the process. They are still doing the exact same writing process cognitively that you guys are doing with representative words and letters. Okay, it's so cool and so fun. All right. So this is an actual close-up of the cover of the downloadable. And that's it, you guys. On my Facebook page, this live is there, as you will see. I will put links in the comments. There is also an official thank you sharing post in my writing, on my writing page, Lori Tom at spreadingwritinglove.com. Just at Spreading Writing Love. That's my Facebook page for writing. And that's where I would love it if people just posted their thank yous in there. I've already got one in there. I will probably post the other one I was starting to write before this live. And so I would love to just get a thankful conversation going. It would be so cool. So anyway, my blog is lorit.com. My newsletter comes out on the last day of every month. I hope you subscribe for that. On Facebook, I'm Lori Tom at Spreading Writing Love. And on Instagram, I'm Lori_stories. And I'm so glad you were here today. I hope you write thank yous this month. And I hope you go and download the printables and just really enjoy some first experiences with haiku. All right. Thank you for joining me. Have a great day, you guys. Bye.